and says this meeting is now being live streamed. Fantastic, as always. Uh, let's wait 1 second for the recording to go on, and then we'll go. We'll start. Thank you, Prem. So, everyone, good morning to you in India. Sorry, good morning, good evening to you in India, and good morning to everyone in the US and elsewhere. We have gathered here today for yet another celebration, and the celebration is about Banu Satya, who has acquired role of data engineer in Capgemini, which is an MNC, and we are all very happy. So our format usually is that we discuss the experience sharing in a fun style, in a cool flow. We have nothing planned ahead of time. It's more like a chit chat where we get to learn about the experiences from Banu, and we figure out how his journey has been, what kind of things he used to prepare for the exam, what resources were more helpful, whether he liked LinkedIn or Naukri, all those kind of questions. You know what, how many rounds of interviews there are there, and things like that. So we typically start with the background and let it flow as the question come, and then we let the audience also participate. And after we have warmed him up with the 4 or 5 questions. One thing to remember here is that we do not talk about salaries, and we do not talk about anything that is a part of the confidentiality agreement with the company. So, everything else, which is generic in nature, you're most welcome to ask our guest, Banu. So, having said that, let's go ahead and get started, guys. Banu, are we ready?
Yeah, Arun, I'm ready. Yeah.
Fabulous. So I think it's a good idea to start with the background. So we'll start from the beginning. So
Okay.
tell us whatever, introduce yourself to us and tell us whatever you want about your journey, your background.
Yeah, sure. So I'm from Bangalore, and total I have 10 years of experience in Capita India Private Limited. So
Wow.
I worked as a data analyst and process lead. So then in my company itself, I came to know about they launched a few courses about the PMP and data science. It was back in 2017. So on that day itself, uh, it grabbed my attention. So I wanted to do something different. So then I joined Upgrad actually. So uh,
Mhm.
I learned Python and SQL, but there was no target role defined actually. Like after finishing Python and SQL, so what I wanted to become, whether it's a business analyst, data analyst, or a data engineering. So then again, I came back to zero only. So started the journey with the full Josh, learning Python and SQL, but there was no target role defined. So
Right.
uh, what I want to do then I was thinking because I spent around 1 lakh. Okay, so
Wow.
simply
So so
every
I was just going to ask you what was your first concrete step, and you said it was upgrad.
Mm.
Wow, 1 lakh, too much of money.
Yeah. So then I had further plans also to do MS and post graduation also, but thank God I did not do it. So then I've seen Lakshmi was part of Lakshmi is a part of the COE and she's an active member. And our journey was amazing. To be honest, I was the first person to picked up about the current tools and technologies. But unfortunately, I was not able to land a job. And so she quickly learned about Power BI within a span of 3 months, and she was able to quickly grab a job in Kasaya. So that
Yeah, just like I said, Rupam and today Srinidhi has joined
mm,
us and Lakshmi is there. These are a part of cool Kasaya gang, So
correct.
yeah,
Yeah,
these all these people have picked up things so fast. I'm
correct.
surprised.
And I was just waiting like how she's going to do uh, then I was shocked at like okay, so finally she got an offer in IT. So then
Mhm,
she told me there's a classes going for data engineering, and the instructor is Ashok Kumar, try and see. So first I went through the modules and everything. So Ashok sir clearly briefed in the first class itself. I mean, it was during the demo session itself. So the prerequisite was like, so we have to know about Python and SQL.
mhm.
So, and then the first class itself was so amazing for me. To be honest, I don't know anything about cloud and on-prem. So he explained in detail. So even layman can also understand in detail. So he gave one
Gotcha.
real-time example itself, like buying a rent. I mean, buying a shop as a rent and owning a shop. So
Mhm,
that's how he gave the example and cleared the difference between on-prem and cloud.
mhm.
And he explained each and every tab. So usually I've
Wow.
seen a few sessions on YouTube. So straight away they get into the project and they will not be able to explain what does each and every tab. So how it's going to help. So he took us through in each and every details. So what do you mean by Entra ID and how to assign a role, what is blob storage and how it is different from ADLS Gen 2, what is key vault and different types of triggers. So in each and every modules he has done, so he took us through one example only. So when it comes to triggers, he took one example and he created few activities and then I came to know, okay, this is how it works. And then with the next topic is about the incremental loading. So what are the different activities we use?
Mhm.
So that's how I learned. But to be honest, I was not able to travel along with the course because of family issues at home. But I was sure about it. So one day I will definitely go through it and I will
Mhm.
definitely land a job. And moreover, like uh, each and every session, he will recall the previous one. Like he will start asking questions and he will
Yeah. So
again summarize
so you're
it.
saying,
Yeah,
yeah,
that helps a
recap
lot.
the whole thing and
Correct. Yes.
ask questions.
And yes, and he was approachable also, and each and every class, after the class, he will give an assignment. So that
Gotcha.
helped me a lot actually, to be honest. And moreover, along with the course, he will start giving the interview questions then and there only. It's not at the end of the course, during the class itself. Like I said.
You know what some people have said that
Mm,
they while they are live in the class,
mm,
that's an experience.
mm,
But after the class, when they're listening to the recording,
mm.
they say, "Oh, when we were listening, we understood it even more better, and we could
Correct.
think about 3 or 4 interview questions from there." Is that true?
Yes, yes. So I made a note also like so many. So it's not that he started for one or two classes. Like during the class itself, this is one of the interview questions he did from start till end.
Got you.
Yeah.
So the typically the class covers like ADF, it covers
Data
PySpark,
Yeah, data break. Hmm.
it covers Databricks. So the
Correct.
entire 12 week. So as you went through this class, I
Hmm.
mean, see, people come from all different backgrounds,
Yes,
IT,
correct. Hmm.
non-IT, and stuff. In your case, you came from slightly non-IT background.
Hmm.
So I mean, although he explained you the terms and gave the examples, this, that, and all, did you find uh, some portions easier than the other? For example, if you ask me
Mm,
today, think about my 10th standard, which
mm,
subject was great, I would say,
mm,
hey, mathematics came along easy with me. I was a topper in English and blah blah, but I did not do so well in geography.
mm,
Wherever I used to have the maps, trust
mm.
me, in all the maps I used to get like very poor marks
Correct.
in geography, but everything else I was good at. So similarly, if I ask you,
Mm,
when you started your journey,
mm.
um, uh, were all the topics in ADF, PySpark, Databricks, were they equally simple, or some topics are more difficult than others, and how did you
Uh,
overcome it?
to be honest, like each and every session was somewhat challenging for me.
Mm-hmm.
I was not able to understand then and there. And
Mm-hmm.
beautiful part was we have the recordings actually. So once the
Ah,
class gets over, so after the next day, so if it is a 3 hours class, first I will go through 45 minutes of the recording. Then I
right.
will summarize it. I will write it in a notebook. Then after that, I'll start from the 46th minute. Then I'll go till 2 hours of class. Stop it. Then summarize as a whole. So that's how I was able to learn each and everything. So ADF is pretty much easier. Reason behind Ashok was keeps saying it's a codeless ETL pipeline. It's just a drag and drop. Yeah, but
Right.
the data bricks was challenging. So there were times like where one recording I went through 2 to 3 times to understand.
Yeah, and this is a feedback consistent with especially
Mm,
the people who are from non-IT. But
mm,
eventually, if you stop and watch and then practice and then ask
mm,
questions, I've
mm.
noticed that people who practice do well. People who
Correct.
just watch it like a Netflix video
Yeah,
will not get it. But if you ask questions, and not only to your peers, like
mm,
if I have a question, I'll go to Lakshmi, I'll go to Rupam, I'll go to
mm,
whosoever I know. It's a buddy system, right? So we talk to each other, and then if we don't get it, we talk to the instructor or
correct.
ex students. So eventually we get it. But Banu, one thing was very surprising. You surprised everybody. I know that long time back you did data. I think one of the certifications you did. So we were.
Yeah,
I mean,
data engineering associate. Yeah.
when everybody was thinking, hey,
Mm,
Banu is doing data engineering and he's working on exercises, and you were surprising everybody with
mm.
all the exercise that you're doing, the practice, the hard work that you're doing. But we were not expecting you to do the certification too, and you surprised everybody. So can you tell us like how you prepared for the certification, and
Uh,
how many did you, because I know you were going through, there were times when you're going through personal challenges at home due
correct.
to
Yeah.
health of yes, your loved one. So how do you manage to study? How many hours did you put in per day or things like that?
So daily I was trying to manage 2 hours actually. So daily I was dedicating 2 hours to practice and learn. And you gave an excellent resource. Her name is Rajini, if you
Okay.
remember. Yeah. So uh, and she was the one who was continuously in touch with me actually. So whenever I ask a question, she was immediately responding, and she was the first person to clear the certification. Then I approached her. It's like
Wow.
the resources which she used to clear the certifications. Yes, she shared a few resources actually. Yeah, that helped me a lot actually to clear the certification part. And apart from that, yes, there was one skill set pro. Yeah,
Okay.
that also I referred. And
Gotcha.
last but not the least, yes, and Lakshmi was the one. Yeah, so anyway, you have completed 75 to 80 percentage of the course, so it's better you complete the certification. Yeah, and she was the one who told you can also take a mock test in Microsoft also. First, you clear the test and see the marks. if you're able to score anything above 75 or 80, then you can book the slot. Yeah. So Rajini
And
and yeah.
if I have to, give any of the exams, I will talk to Lakshmi now because she's becoming so good at resume optimization, LinkedIn optimization, data
Yeah,
engineering, Azure.
correct.
I'll come to you guys. You're a part of the cool gang.
Mm,
Okay, so
mm,
now what I would like to switch to is uh, the resume part, right? So for the resume part, did you prepare it yourself? How do you go through some resume optimization where you felt that some of the parts need to be highlighted or changed, or did you go through LinkedIn optimization, and does it help?
To be honest and open, still I'm learning actually how to optimize my LinkedIn and resume and Naukri. If you remember, I had a first session with you
Yes.
Lakshmi through TopMate. So I was so feeling proud, like, okay, my resume looks good. So hopefully I can get a job. But after reviewing the score and what I prepared and the resume which I have right now, so it's completely different actually. So to be honest, like Lakshmi helped me a lot in optimizing LinkedIn and Naukri, and also I went through your there was a pre-recorded videos also.
Right.
So how to
I think
optimize the resume and everything. But Lakshmi helped me to an extent actually in optimizing my resume. Till now, I'm getting calls, minimum 10 to 15 calls. It's not because of my skills, yes, of course, but the topmost reason is my resume because
fab.
each and
Yeah,
everything, yeah.
yeah, you're absolutely right because I think regardless of who's at what level, if
Mm,
they optimize the resume, if they showcase the skills properly, write the keywords, and so
correct.
it is very helpful. And regardless of who we are, suppose if I am applying for a position,
Mm,
I need to tailor it to the requirements or description
exactly.
of the job. And each
Exactly.
job is different because
Correct.
today I might be applying for X role, tomorrow I might
Mm,
be applying for Y role. And even though I have, one master copy, it's always a good idea to look at the what the job wants and tailor your resume, highlight those things that the job really needs.
correct.
Okay.
Yes. And I
So
was, to be honest,
yeah, go
like,
ahead. Yeah.
so in my company, like, we have to share our resume. So there
Uh-huh.
was one project manager who also shared his resume. I was just going through it. So it's just copied and pasted from chat GPT. Even that's what we do, yeah, to tailor it. But it was surprising for me because usually Lakshmi tells that we have to quote some realistic numbers and some percentage. So that really shows that you have worked on a project and that you are in the domain.
You're absolutely right about that because
Mm.
see, Chat GPT or any other GPTs, Google, Gemini, and others,
Correct,
these are all tools.
correct,
So and sometimes they hallucinate and they'll give you all stupid kind of stuff.
correct.
One has to apply human logic, human brains,
Mm.
human sense to what is necessary for the profile, and not just cut paste copy because anybody can look at the language and say, hey, this is not you, this is not authentic you. People love authenticity. Even the hiring managers, they can easily make out because it's the whole job of hiring managers and recruiters to interview people day in and day out.
Yeah.
So let me move on to a different question. So, talking about the interview
And
itself,
there is one more thing, the last thing
okay,
about the resume
sure,
part.
sure,
You
sure.
believe it or not? So
Mm.
actually, initially I got an opportunity for lead data engineer.
Mhm.
That is because of my resume only. So it's a senior vice president. So he did not interview me at all. He just say your resume looks so surprising, and that shows what projects and what domain you have worked. So, and then, uh, uh, but 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 unfortunately, I was not able to join that team. Yeah, so just see, even because of resume also, there will be no interview also. Yeah, so it all
Gotcha.
depends on how you tailor it and how you prepare it also. Yeah.
Got it. So, coming to the interview itself, um, can you let us know, like, let's say for this particular interview where you got selected, and you must have appeared at other places, what are the typical rounds that you had to go through?
See, the first thing is like a technical round. So before that, HR, only few HRs will filter out the candidates. Even they will ask you technical questions.
Mhm.
So they will try and see if I'm perfect fit for the role. So if not, they will skip it. So yes, few interviews that happen like that, and majority of the interviews will be technical round. So after the self introduction, it's all about the project only. So that's the mandate question. So we have to explain the incoming data and curated data, what kind of tools we have used, like for ingestion part, uh, what tool we have used, and for the transformation and the volume of the incoming data, is it batch processing or real-time processing?
Gotcha.
And then like as a data engineering, not as a team, as a Bono, what you were doing it. Is it in the uh, ingestion part or in the transformation part? Like what are the different cleansing and transformations you have applied? So with an example, we have to explain. So few people, if you just say yes, there was a data skew, I just handle it. No, they won't accept such answer. So we have to share our screen and we have to write the code. First, we have to
Yeah,
explain about data scheme, and then we have to write the code. That's how the most of the interviews happen. It's not just by uh, explaining. So I was
yeah,
initial days I was just explaining, but the later part, okay, can we just write a code? So they wanted
gotcha.
to check about the technical aspect also. So in terms of writing the code, yeah,
So you brought forward two interesting things. One is that it's not you just read the answer from a PDF.
correct,
They'll not ask basic questions like what is a skew and what is this and what is that. They'll ask a question which is more of scenario based, and then you went ahead and explained it with an example.
correct,
That's the one thing. And second is you're talking about in certain cases for some portions of the interview they will also want you to write the code.
correct.
Got you.
So that
Yeah, and
code
this,
and
yeah,
so there were a few employees like they were not looking for the 100% writing skills. At least they should be knowing the knowledge. Like at least if you're able to write the concept like in terms of pseudocode, that was fine. There were few recruiters who wants 100% coding skills. Yeah,
and that's how they separate
correct.
the fake resumes from the
Yes,
real
correct.
ones,
Exactly.
because
Ah,
and I don't think they look for 100% perfect answers.
correct.
You're right in
Exactly.
pointing out that they look at the approach and the pseudocode.
Approach. Yeah.
If you are able to understand and describe at least,
Mm.
hey, maybe I haven't implemented, I'm not able to solve it 100% right
But I
now,
know the concept. Yeah.
but I know the concept and I know the approach to sort it out. I
Correct.
think they're happy with that.
To be honest, I learned pseudocode from Ashok only. So in each and every class, he writes the pseudocode first, and then he will start writing in either PySpark or SQL. That's how I learned pseudocode from Ashok only.
Gotcha. um okay, my last question before I switch it over to the audience to ask you questions.
Mm.
So if now you gave multiple interviews, and I
Mm.
asked this. This is my favorite question to ask people. It's a very simple question.
Mm.
All of us, when we apply to jobs, every single time, in spite of the resume being great and everybody loving it, sometimes we even give the interviews and we are ghosted. And at other times we get rejected.
Mm.
So a lot of people come back. Some everybody takes it in a different way. Some people come back and say, "Hey, it's nothing. So what if I'm ghosted by this one person? I'm going to go ahead give the next one." Some people say, "Oh my God, my life is shattered and I don't know what to do," and they get depressed and dejected.
Mm.
How did I mean? Did you go through any of these experiences? And if yes,
Yes, yes,
how do
exactly.
you deal with it? How do you deal with it?
Uh,
I want a lesson for the freshers who are in your shoes
uh,
today, or
so
who, yeah.
correct. So one of the learners, her name is Pooja. So
Mhm.
parallelly, even she was attending the interviews with me. So she
Right,
was sharing the questions actually. So even
uh-huh,
after the interview, even I was also sharing. So after the interview gets over, I was discussing with Lakshmi. And then so we were rechecking the answers, everything in a chat GPT. So it's
right,
just a tool, I agree, but it's also depends on how you give the prompt, so how you ask the questions and everything. on uh,
right.
on daily basis, even she was sharing few questions from LinkedIn. Even I was even today also
Yeah,
I'm
look,
active in LinkedIn, because few people will start sharing the interview questions and everything. So, but I was actively in touch with Pooja also, and she was sharing the questions. And
correct.
it all depends on if you have worked on a project or not. So, if you have worked on a project, so you'll be able to explain each and everything. So, if you have not
Exactly.
worked
Even
on a
even
project, then it looks then it will be difficult to answer actually.
Absolutely. I mean, even the chat GPT or any GPT or
Mhm.
PPT, all the GPTs, PPTs,
Mhm.
LPTs will only help if you have actually worked and practiced.
Correct.
If you haven't done that, you can ask GPT 10,000 questions and it'll give you different answers. You won't even know whether it will not be of much use to you or anybody else. Only if you have practiced can you tell,
Yes, correct.
yes, yes, I know this. GPT only gives you a little bit of refinement, that's it.
Correct.
And sometimes it may be wrong also, you never know,
Yes,
so you
correct.
have to practice and know it.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so at this stage let me see if there are audience members who want to ask questions. We have Rupam Gupta's. Wow, Rupam Gupta is already starting to ask questions. He said we should have one resume optimization from Lakshmi. Absolutely, that's what I was thinking. Actually, we have Rashika's class coming up, and I'll ask Lakshmi to do this session so that I can be retired. All right. Um, so, uh, so going back to the audience, guys, this is your time. Banu is here. You can ask him anything that you want about interviews, about data engineering, about pretty much anything. So, who wants to go first? Or like every time, does everybody want to keep mute?
Hey, hi Arun.
Please go ahead. Unmute
Hey, this
yourself
is
and you can all go.
yeah, can you hear me? This is Afreen.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the right forum to ask this question. I just joined because I was there in your WhatsApp group.
Sure.
But I was actually preparing for an interview, and this is for data specialist. So I wanted to know, like, it was it is like from junior to intermediate role. So I'm switching my job profile. So I wanted to know what would be a good approach to prepare for this interview, which is coming up.
So the good approach will be to look at the job description, the must have and nice to have skills, and then
Mm-hmm.
if you send it to us, we can help you understand what kind of questions you can expect, and that will
Mm-hmm.
be one way to prepare. And then, of
Mm-hmm.
course, look at the something about when you look at the technical questions, you look at some behavioral questions that might be asked,
Mm-hmm.
um, the soft skills, I mean, tech skills plus soft skills, and then you look at so you want to know something about the company, its values, its culture. So those kind of things we normally help you prepare in the global career services group. So
Okay.
this
Okay.
this session is specifically for experience sharing. When somebody gets a certification or somebody gets a job offer, we typically have an experience sharing session. So in this case, we are having an experience sharing session with Satya Banu.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thanks. I'm
But
sorry. It was,
I'll
I
be
think, out of, yeah, yeah.
no, 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 no,
Tell
no.
me. Yeah.
Nothing is outside. It's okay.
Mm.
I mean, and you can, because everybody praised Lakshmi today. You can talk
Mm-hmm.
to Lakshmi. She will give you as good as guidance anybody can. So Lakshmi, please reach out to her, or you can reach out to Lakshmi here, or you can uh, uh, write in a group or text me, and I'll be happy to help you.
Okay, sounds good. I think Lakshmi is in the group. I'll in the meantime I'll just send her my detail, and then whenever she's
Ab-
available, I'll be able to just get in touch with
well,
you.
if your interview is today, you need an immediate help, so we'll do that for you.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Arun. Thanks, appreciate it. Yeah, no, it's
All
not
righty.
today. It's sometime next week. But I just wanted to, go in a proper approach rather than taking
Sure.
from everywhere and seeing and and getting deviated from
Yeah.
the main thing topic. Yeah.
And
So
other than
that's.
that, Rupam Gupta is an excellent resource also. And the school
Mhm.
gang is from Kaseya. So long live Kaseya. You talk to Rupam, talk to Lakshmi, you are in good hands.
Sounds great. And they both are here, right? I would be able to get the details from this meeting itself.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Arun. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Okay. Who else has a question for Banu on data engineering interview or
I
anything
have.
anything related? Go ahead.
So, hi, Banu. My name is
I,
Shruti,
yeah.
and I have recently started working as a data engineer, but it's not a bigger enterprise. I do not face a lot of challenges in terms of data being in a proper format data or things or any challenges that are enterprise level which are like at a bigger enterprise. So I would want to know that if you are working with some bigger companies like big names, and what are the challenges that somebody would face when they start working as a data engineer, because that's where I want to go
Shruti,
ahead in life.
Shruti, it seems like you're calling somewhere from space
Yeah.
because your voice is having uh, is sounding twice. So maybe you're not using a a headphone or something. It's sounding very weird, but I think we kind of sort of halfway got the question. Can you wear your headphone and repeat the question
I am
briefly?
wearing my Bluetooth earphones. I just moved to a location that's a bit little quiet. Uh,
Could you repeat the question in one line briefly?
yeah, yeah. So am I audible now?
Yes, you are.
So my question is that what are the challenges that somebody would face in a bigger enterprise as a data engineer who's just started working as a data engineer or wants to work as a data engineer should know these challenges that they would face and can prepare themselves well enough before
We
time.
we got you with Parul Singla's help.
Okay.
Um,
Real time challenges.
yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So when I got an opportunity to work, so the initial days, uh, they explained about the project and everything. So I'm working in utility domain. So first few days they asked us to go through the applications and everything. Okay, so they've written the logic. So they use it. They use the IntelliJ community addition. So where they have written the logics and everything. So first he explained about the how does the utility domains works and everything and what's our part. Okay, so then he has taken us through they're built on cleansing and interpolation. So that's called the logic actually. That's using Scala. So after explaining that, then he gave an then he gave an optimization point. Okay, so we have to build a logic. So so it wasn't so easy for me because the data is so vast. That's the first thing. Then the second thing, there were more than 100 uh, columns. So what happens usually, see, we go through YouTube videos or something, so hardly we see 10 columns. So in real time, so we see more than 100 columns. That's the one thing. Then what are the required columns we need? Second thing, then the third thing, first we need to understand the business. So writing a logic is easy. First we have to understand the business and then ask the effective questions during the call. So in my on in the last week itself, they asked to write on logic. Suppose if today is holiday, I'm just giving an example. Okay, so today is holiday, we have to go back to the previous holiday. Okay, and then if today if data is not there, then we have to go back to the same previous weekday. So and we have to take the reads or something. So first I after the call I just summarized everything and then started asking effective questions. Then I was clear. So what I have to do, even the product manager also said the same thing. If you understand the business, writing a logic, it's not at all it's not at all difficult at all. You can use any one of the like AI tools like ChatGPT or Microsoft. So first try and understand the business. So they have a they have built SOP actually. So first few days I went through the data and SOP and everything. So then I was able to build a logic. So here and there we have to connect. So it all depends on how you uh, talk to the product owner and what are the uh, questions you ask. So and then so it will be easier to build a logic. So to be honest, I don't know Scala at all. So I was prepared for PySpark and SQL, but Scala came out of the syllabus for me. Yes, sir. So daily I'm practicing actually. So you cannot expect actually. So uh, we have to write the code in PySpark, and I know only PySpark, but I don't know Scala. No. So we have to be prepared actually for anything.
Okay. So, Banu, when you were preparing for interviews,
Mm.
or when you were rather taking interviews,
Mm.
let's say an interviewer typically in 1 hour they'll ask, or 45 minutes they'll ask
Mm.
7 to 8 or 10 questions. Let's say, let's just
Yeah.
assume a number of 10.
Yeah.
Were you able to answer all 10 out of 10? Because some people, what they do is
Uh,
they're good at answering maybe 8, and then they are worried, oh my god, I couldn't answer these 2 questions, now what's going to happen? They think that they should know the answer to every single question perfectly. So can you give a realistic picture of uh, what was your situation in particular?
yes. Yes. So I was able to answer 10 out of 7 or 8. So that happened after my uh, third interview actually. Yeah, so first two
Got
interviews, I just came to know, okay, the rhythm of interview. So what are the questions I can expect? So in third or my fourth interview, I came to know there are certain questions that are mandatory that you must be knowing. That it doesn't really matter which company you're applied for. The first thing is about your project. You should be able to give a clear demo.
Gotcha.
Then the second thing is the optimization technique.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, with the uh, coding. Then the third thing is as a data engineering, what's your day-to-day activities? As a data engineer, what do you do? It's not as a team. As a data engineer, what do you do? Then the next question is the coding. So few employees, they will give an option to write either in SQL or PySpark, but few employees, they ask me to write in both.
Gotcha. So these three things you're saying are a must, regardless
Correct.
of the company you go to. Everybody must be prepared with these kind of your
Yeah,
project,
and
and
correct.
then a little bit of coding in SQL or PySpark.
Correct.
And the third thing you mentioned was optimization,
Techniques.
right?
And the last thing is like uh, foundation. So that's something I ignored in the first two interviews, but Ashok gave a brief introduction, like how before Databricks, we were using Google Map Reduce and Hadoop and architecture of Databricks. So that's mandatory questions also. So I just and monolithic and distributed. So these questions I was not at all expecting, and some calculations also. Like let's say you have 10 GB of data, how many executors we need, how many uh, tasks, and how many uh, cores we require. So all these questions I did not expect, but yes, surprisingly they asked. But I went through the recordings, so one second, then I was able to answer.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Basics are yeah,
sometimes when we
important. Yeah,
go with the recordings of the class the first time,
mm,
we are not able to judge whether this topic is important or not.
correct.
And then once you start taking interviews, you realize, oh my God, this is an important topic. Go back to the recording, figure it out, and and uh, and if one doesn't know, obviously, ask somebody, ask the instructor. In this case, ask Ashok, um, and cement your understanding, and that helps most people. Um, Parul has asked a question. Parul, do you want to go ahead and
Yes,
ask it yourself?
definitely. Yes, sir. Definitely, I'll send it. Yeah.
Yeah, people always ask, would it
Hello.
be possible for you to document
Hello.
the questions
Yes.
and
Yes.
so yeah, Parul, what we're trying to do is we are trying to gather as many questions as possible, and a small group of us is will be coming out with a document pretty soon. So just stay tuned on this.
Okay.
I've sought help from Lakshmi and Satya and many others, Pooja and all the other success stories. We've had so many success stories. Go ahead. Somebody wanted to ask a question.
I have a question thinking that I'm a fresher in data engineering. Banu, what is the roadmap that you will ask for a fresher to get into data engineering?
Oh my God, Lakshmi, this is the most important. Everybody asks this question. Um, what is the roadmap? This word roadmap is killing everybody. So Satya, yes, as a fresher, please tell us how would a fresher, let's say Rupam is a fresher, he does not know anything about data engineering today.
Yeah, yeah.
How would he
I was
how would
also
he go
thinking to
about it?
ask the same question.
I know Rupam, I know.
The main thing, the core skills which I would recommend is the programming the languages. So these are prerequisites like SQL, uh, Python, and PySpark.
Yeah,
So yes,
basics of
we might be learning ADF and Databricks, but I would strongly recommend if you are upskilling, like for Databricks, and if you're learning the different services or the resources in ADF, but on daily basis, at least minimum we have to spend 1 hour in practicing, especially the joins. I that plays a crucial role in real time. So we have to connect minimum 7 to 8 tables on day-to-day basis. We'll practice connecting just two tables, but in reality, you might have to connect more than 8 to 9 tables. That's something I'm doing it in my company. Yeah, that's the first thing. Programming languages, and then the data concepts like uh, OLTP and OLAP and ETL versus ELT, batch versus streaming data. These are the data concepts. And to be honest, like I did not know about the data modeling, like one-to-one and one-to-many. And then there was how to solve many-to-many. So these questions were asked in interview for me, like STD type 1 and type 2. So, and I took help from, again, Lakshmi only. And then data engineering essentials, so which are nothing but the file formats. So what are the different file formats we use? CSV, JSON, Parkway, and Avro. Then again, data modeling, star schema, snowflake schema, and slow changing dimensions, and also data warehouse concepts like fact versus dimension. And then we'll step into the big data and Spark, like understanding between uh, data frames, then Spark SQL, Spark streaming, then in Databricks, like how to create a job, how to create a DLT pipeline. Yeah. And then data governance and orchestration. So these are the step by step.
So pretty much follow a pattern where I look at your answer in two steps. One is one should have the foundation of SQL and basics of Python should be clear. And then you just proceed with the course of ADF followed by Spark
Okay.
and Databricks. That's the
Correct.
broadly speaking, this is the thing.
Correct.
And then you know something about the database concepts, and I think Ashok is covering majority of that kind
Yeah.
of stuff.
Data modeling
Okay.
and the data warehouse. Yeah, that's most asked questions during the interview, actually. Data modeling.
Were there some questions in the interview that were totally, because there is always the interviewer, they won't let you get a 10 out of 10. They'll ask one question which is always a curveball, like totally out of the blue, out of the syllabus, or maybe we are not prepared and we feel, oh my God, this question, I wish I had paid more attention to. It was totally out of the blue. Have you ever experienced that kind of a
Yes,
question in
yeah.
any other interviews?
There were few questions, like it's a simple questions actually, but still that moment I was not able to answer. But I took some time, but because Ashok keeps saying, so your presence of mind always plays a crucial role. So you believe it or not, one question it can be asked in a different way. Yeah. So
I
there is one
you know
concept. Yeah.
Banu, I always keep good company. I keep in good company. I've Singla,
Mm.
I have Sanjay, I have Lakshmi, I have Rupam. So because I keep in good company, I somehow manage to get a presence of mind myself.
Mm.
Whenever I'm going off the track, these people remind me and I come back to the track. But I'm
Um,
happy to learn that you went through this and then you went through the recordings and you're able to
Mm.
recollect those thoughts and present it beautifully, which is why you've been so successful.
I just wanted to share a point. I think
Mhm.
once after Banu's interview, it was one of his toughest interview where a single question, this is for basic concepts, how much we should focus on basic concepts. It was one single question. He asked in one different way. Banu was able
Mhm.
to answer. He asked it in three different ways. He couldn't say the same answer. I think, Banu, if you remember that question, you can share it here. That is how critical they focus on the data engineering interviews.
Okay. So
Yeah, we'd be happy to hear that question.
yeah, like
It'll be.
lazy evaluation actually. So that is the most frequently asked. So everyone want to know how does the lazy evaluation works. If that question was asked straightforward, yes, I was able to answer. But the question was asked in a different way, like how does PySpark transforms the data?
Mhm.
The same answer, but it was asked in a different way. Then I took some time. Then I answered it actually. Yeah, is the both are the same. It's the same question, but it was asked in a different way. And then the simple question like, okay, you know about uh, Python and PySpark, right? So tell me the three major differences. So daily we will be practicing, but still we don't know what's the difference between Python and PySpark. So
But
I'm not able to tell that. Yeah.
I've noticed a lot of people in their anxiety uh, selling questions on LinkedIn and many other platforms. Buy my questions for it has all the questions from different companies, and they'll put it out from ChatGPT, and
Correct.
those questions will be like, what is lazy evaluation? Nobody is going to ask you questions based upon those PDFs that you find on LinkedIn.
Correct.
Some of them may give you the topic names and what to look for, but in the real life industry grade interviews, if there's a experienced interviewer, they'll always ask you questions like the one you just described. I mean, you knew the concept, you had an understanding, but they could ask the same question in two different ways.
Correct.
And that's where you have to really think. So you have to, I mean, bottom line, what Lakshmi is saying, what you're saying, what others have said in the past is, unless you know the concept and you've practiced,
Correct.
you will not even be able to think through it. I mean, you cannot have the presence of mind if you haven't done it.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions, guys? This is your time.
Yeah,
Hi,
hi
Banu.
Manu.
This is Madhu.
Hi.
Yeah,
Hi,
please
Madhu.
go ahead.
Hi, Madhu.
Am I
Yes,
audible,
yes,
Manu?
Yes, you're audible.
yes, Madhu, you are.
Banu, first of all, congratulations
Thank you.
on getting this opportunity and
Mm.
sharing your valuable insights from your preparation to all of
Thank you.
us.
Yeah.
So my question is related to the projects, the
Mm.
number of projects that you have done, and how it actually gave you some better understanding how to tackle the interviews. And during your projects, did you try to collaborate with anyone apart from searching it on internet or Googling it out? Did you try to collaborate with other people who are also getting into the data engineering field to know from their perspective of how to solve that problem?
Yeah. So actually, apart from Ashok, like I follow one more person. Okay. His
Hmm.
name is Anshulamba. If you
Okay.
is also one of the excellent resource. Okay. So during whatever the Ashok sir gives the assignment, yeah, so I was completing it on day-to-day basis, and also he gave one two real-time projects also. So once you have done with the assignments, then only you will share the real-time project actually. So that helped me a lot to clear the interview. And besides, I've done one project. So Lakshmi helped like how to take the dummy data sets from uh, ChatGPT. So I've done one project related to utility only. So
Hmm.
and then I follow Anshu Lamba. So he's also one of the excellent resource on YouTube. So if you have
Okay.
seen others, they like Unity catalog. If you Ashok has explained 3 hours in detail. So how to
Hmm.
give the access to someone and how to enable Unity catalog. They just talk about
Hmm.
10 or 15 minutes. But if you see Ashok sir's class, he's talked in detail about the Unity catalog for 3 hours. So and then next is like I extracted a few data sets and then I used the ADF for the ingestion. Even that was also one of the toughest interview uh, questions. I failed 2 times because of that question only. So they asked why did you use ADF for the ingestion and
Hmm.
Databricks for the transformation? So
So, your preparation was
mm,
oriented around just
mm,
Azure and ADF related, or you were also focusing on getting hands-on in AWS because both of
no,
these tools
I I
they go
I
side
was
by side.
no, I was practicing both ADF and Databricks. But while during the interview, so they
Hmm.
asked so what's the ingestion tool you have used? So I was just saying ADF. The questions were so why did you use ADF for the ingestion and why not Databricks?
Hmm.
So we have to be very confident in answering because in Databricks also we can do the ingestion. So that's not a
Okay.
big deal. But in why ADF? So your project demo that gives a clear picture, like your incoming data source and curated data and what services and resources you have used in Azure and why. So
Uh-huh.
every time, whenever I answer the question, it was like why. I
Mhm.
I told them like I've used a ADE for the an ingestion, and it's a batch processing. So every 1 hour we upload the data in that landing zone. Okay, and what trigger we have used? I told them tumbling window. Yes, why?
Understood.
So all these
Uh,
questions were not
mhm.
expected, but yes,
Mhm.
through going back to the recordings and checking the other resources, yes, I was able to answer.
Awesome. Great. I have one last question, Banu. I'll give chance to rest of the other audience here. But yeah, my last question is just to know from your perspective and how would you guide someone who has really good skills in SQL
Mm,
and experience,
mm,
but just a basic understanding or with respect to the Python,
mm.
how one should approach for the preparation of data engineering transition?
Yeah, so if you know your SQL, then yes, uh, Python, yes, you will be able to manage it easily only. Yeah, so first we
Okay.
start with first we have to start with the data structures like list, uh, uh, sets, dictionary,
Mhm.
and then tuple. So first we are once you understand the data structures and the data types, then the libraries are easy only. NumPy and pandas. NumPy we are not using, but if you know the pandas
Congrats.
data frame, then
Yeah.
the
Mhm.
PySpark will be easy. First, the
So,
All
basic
right.
so,
foundation is data structures.
so for the
Mhm.
same question, I want Lakshmi here also to give her inputs. For the same question, the extension to the question is, so let's say I'm getting ready to join next month, or I'm getting ready to join data engineering classes, and I want to just refresh my SQL quickly that I've done, and I want to cover the syllabus that you said in basics of Python. So, how much time do you think, assuming that I'm a, let's say slightly above average guy, or maybe an average guy? Let's talk about an
Mm,
average Joe.
mm.
How much time will should it take to cover the basics of Python? Because here the objective is not to become a master of Python,
Correct.
but learn only that much Python that is necessary for the data engineer role. How much time would it take?
So data structures, that's something we can learn in uh, 4 hours. Okay, but again, like uh, we have to know about see in the if you see in the we don't use for loops and all, so that something is not required. So in reality we use the listed comprehension and dictionary comprehension. So first if you understand that data structures, then the pandas the data frame will be easy only. So it's the exact the same thing what we use in PySpark also. Yeah, almost 60 to 70%.
So, Lakshmi, I would like to have your feedback also. So, if whatever he described, he said like 3 to 4 hours, which sounds, let's say I'm a very average and slow guy, and I have only 1 hour or 2 hours per day, and I want to cover this, revise this before I get into the classes. What is your opinion?
Is it on Python or both PySpark also?
I would say both. Oh well, PySpark is taught in the classes. Just tell me about, in general, what do you feel about the Python part as well as the SQL part. Talk about the SQL part as well.
I think SQL is like bread and butter for data engineering, which Rupam also will agree, because what I have seen in the data engineering interviews, both with Pooja and Bano, even though you have learned whole Azure architecture, all the services in Azure, if you're not good with SQL, even after joining the job, you will not be able to give
I
anything.
know people have told us that if you fail the joins question, you're
Yeah.
out of the interview. I mean, joins, if you don't know the basics of SQL, I mean, even though you have, ratified all the memorized the entire what is queue and what is this and what is that, if you fail the SQL part, they doubt your entire thing.
But considering that like Rupam and Srini, they already like are exhibiting the skills in SQL, it would be very easy for them to connect the dots. So how to connect the dots is start with Python and then PySpark. Why is PySpark? I will post that question to Banu because one question I wanted to always ask is why PySpark? What PySpark is doing and why not Python? PySpark is something that is integrated with Databricks. In Databricks, they write PySpark codes, which is majorly helping the big data. That usually helps with transforming the data. That Banu will explain better than me. But then
Sure.
what I feel, not every role requires Python. So even if you ask Banu also, there are few companies they do Python scripting. I think Rupam is already aware. Their team is doing that. So when they do that Python scripting for a specific data sources, they may need Python, but not all the roles. Python is a base. Yes, we should learn that, but PySpark is more important.
Yeah. So Banu, please help us understand if you want to elaborate on this.
Yeah.
What
So
Lakshmi just said. Yeah.
yeah, so Python I feel mainly is used for web apps and automation. So it runs on a single machine like your laptop. Okay, so PySpark is mainly used for big data processing. So as Lakshmi mentioned, and it runs the code in parallel on multiple machines like clusters. Clusters is nothing but a group of virtual machines. So it can handle huge data sets. So you can think of like Python is a bike. It's a good for short or simple rides. And PySpark you can imagine like a train carry a lot of people or data across the long distances.
Fantastic. I like the analogy. Good example. Uh, Again, I go back to Sriniti, Ranjit, Pratish, Parul,
Banu had a question,
Naz.
I guess.
Yeah, go ahead.
Awesome.
Hi,
Please
Banu.
go ahead.
Hi, Banu. This is
Uh,
Madhu.
Hi.
can I jump in?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we can go ahead,
Yeah,
please.
so first of all, thank you, Lakshmi, for inviting me. I not I'm not a data engineer by profession, but yeah, I'm also transitioning into it. I wanted to specifically um, answer regarding the roadmap because Banu just mentioned about it, but that is a very, you can say, a specialist sort of roadmap, not for intermediate. So I'll just give you like basically how I am perceiving this. So you have to look at the whole SDLC. So when in software development, you have software development life cycle. So in data engineering, so it's like DLC, data engineering life cycle. You look at the whole thing. Ingesting part, what are you doing in ingesting? What type of data ingestion is happening, batch or stream? Then where is it landing? What type of data source is it landing? Is it a cold storage? Is it hot storage, blob storage, etc. Then you see the data warehousing. Do you need a data warehouse? What are the factors deciding behind the choice of data architecture? Should we go for data lake? Should we go for data warehouse, ELT, ETL, all these things. Then you have the transformation where and then there's the reporting layer. So there are different blocks, and I won't go into specific tools. As a beginner, what I would recommend is you look at each stage of the transformation, sorry, the life cycle, and then you see what happens in it, the concept, how things are, actualizing, how you're getting the data, how you're transforming the data, the pipelines, how you're storing it, how you're
accessing the data through databases, database management systems, how you're reporting the data via Tableau or Power BI or whatever. So though once you understand the life cycle, then you can see, okay, what are the in-demand tools for them. So PySpark is being mentioned a lot. PySpark is basically Python for Spark engine. On this, you distributed computer, you have a Spark layer, and that is on top of that, you use PySpark as a language to access the objects. So these, you can say, decisions on what I should study and what I can go for. Python, SQL, they are a must now. You cannot survive with that. But you can say some sort of specialization like PySpark or um, maybe you want to go with some other language like Scala. So how to go for that or why should we go for that? I guess it's better to take a step back and see the whole life cycle, what is happening, and then you see, okay, what is in demand within that stage of the life cycle, like it in just in
That
orchestration. So Airflow is
that's
very popular in that.
That's a good, interesting point. I like the concept of the data engineering life cycle and how you compared it with the software development life cycle. And Ashok's course basically takes us end to end on what's needed in about 12 weeks time. This whole thing is covered with the important topics. Couple things that you mentioned like Airflow is not covered, but and Kafka, but it gives you the concepts and tells you important things, why they are important and how they have to be implemented. So, but good point. And Osama, I would love to see you back in the very active in the Power BI group because I haven't seen any of the recent contributions. I would love to have you um active in the groups. All right. Anybody else?
I
Uh,
have one
Hello.
question.
sure. Everybody should have one question.
Yeah. Hi, Banu. First of all, I would like to thank you for giving this brief, your experience about how you have landed a data engineering job.
Thank you, Srini.
Um, so I have one question, like I have two questions actually. First one is, as Arun said, it is actually a 12 weeks of course. So how long it actually took for you to, land this job? uh, from beginning of started learning this course,
Mm.
how long it actually took for you? And the second one is like, how did you practice and how have you built the projects? Like you purchased a trial version from the platforms like Azure and all, or how you have handled to, manage by creating a project or something like that?
Okay. So actually, without any deviations, you can learn the data engineering within 13 or 15 weeks of span. But
Mm-hmm.
I had certain medical emergency at home. So I was not able to travel along with the course, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So it took, but somewhere I had a strong desire that I will go through the recordings and make a note. So it took almost the course completed within 3 months, but it took almost 8 to 9 months
Okay.
to complete everything. So
Okay.
there were days like where I was revisiting the same recording for 2 to 3 times. So, since you're already a Power BI developer, so you will be easily able to understand few technical concepts. So it
Mm-hmm.
will not be much difficult for you. So I think yes, you'll be able to grasp within 15 to 16 weeks of time. So for me, the SQL and Python. So that was stopped actually.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something we have to practice regularly. It's not whenever the interview is appearing. So we open the laptop and practicing it. So that we should do it on a daily basis. So ADF is something we'll be able to learn because it's just a drag and drop. But when it comes to the data bricks, yes, after knowing the cluster configuration and a Unity catalog and a notebook, how to clone, how to run a job. Then the transformation part that plays a crucial role, like what kind of business logic we're gonna write. So when it comes to the project, like if you're completing the assignment on day-to-day basis,
Mm.
so at the end of the CI/CD pipeline and at the end of the data bricks, yes, Ashok sir will definitely give you the real-time project.
Okay.
So I was able to complete two actually.
Okay.
Srinidhi, in his case, he said two important things. Apart from his practice, he had a very, I don't want to go into details, but he had a very challenging personal problem, which I wish upon nobody. He had a personal challenging problem, and but whenever he found time, in spite of the challenges, he pushed along, and at the same time, uh, uh, there were some family circumstances, and they decided to take the thing later. But one good thing, in spite of that, he was able to do is do the project, practice, and also clear a certification. So he utilized his time effectively, and of course, Lakshmi and other people in the COE partnered with him, and that's how it was done. And you have to remember that he came from a totally different background. So
Mm.
people who are very current with SQL and Power BI, they should be able to do it much faster. On an
Mm.
average, I've seen, Srinidhi, that now there have been all mixed kind of opinions. So some people get the jobs within 3 months of doing the course, whereas other people they haven't even finished the course. We have examples where people were still going through their last class and they kept doing the assignments and they did small projects, and even before completing the course they were offered a job. We have many such cases, not just one. So it depends on the, I think, personal circumstances and a lot of other factors, non-IT, IT. But eventually, the market is very strong for
Mm.
Azure and Databricks, and so most cases, I should say, every single case has at least 100% hike, but in many cases they've received hikes up to 450%. Is it true? Today, uh, even last year we had very successful cases where people, I mean, the least hike was 100%, as I say that. And I'm not worried so much about the hike. I'm just happy with the demand. There's enormous amount of demand for Azure and Databricks. That's
I
what is
also
moving
want
the
to add
market
one
today.
more point
Yeah,
here,
yeah, please
Arun.
go. Yeah, please,
So
and
this is with
give us all genuine feedback from what you have heard, guys, because that's what is going to help the beginners.
this is what I saw with calls, especially with the DE calls. When I was applying for Power BI calls, literally I used to wait for weeks. In a weeks, I used to have 2 or 3 calls, even after optimizing resumes, referrals, everything. In a week, I used to have 4 to 5 calls. That was way back when I joined Kaseya. But now, just before 3 months, I was so shocked by seeing the demand for data engineering. Literally, even now, Banu is avoiding this consultancy calls because he's already in a job. And every half an hour, he used to get almost 4 to 5 calls every half an hour.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, we have complete freshers. They've told me, and you know them, Lakshmi. I don't want to name any specific person, but people are telling me that they receive like 11 to 12 calls per day, and they are not even prepared. They just said that we were just trying to float our resume in the market to check what's the response and what kind of offers, or sorry, what kind of interviews we're getting, whether they are even interested in us based upon our profiles. So yeah, every single person getting like 11 to 12 is the minimum number of calls that they're getting. Of course, I mean, I would say that in November or December it might slow down a little bit because of the festive season in December, particularly. But you never know, because so many companies are investing so much in India. I think the demand is going to go up only.
Yeah. One more thing, one more thing, Arun, like So after the hello.
Yes, I can hear you, Banu.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
one thing I want to add, sorry, one thing I want to add was that we have to remember that in the case of Banu, not only he was managing a full-time job at a place where he had spent 10 years of his life, he was also managing kid. He was also managing like a crucial circumstance in the family. So considering all these factors, you have to look at, the success is a huge success. Go ahead, Banu. You were
Yeah.
saying something.
So after the technical round, yes, of course, that those are hoping for the transition and dreaming. Yes, definitely will succeed. But the next round will be like a cultural fit questions. That's something like yeah, I was not able to answer like few questions were like you already have an offer, so why are you looking for a job opportunity? That cultural fit questions, though I have 10 years of experience, still I was not able to answer few questions only. Like, why do you want to work with us? Like your strengths and weakness. That's something I can answer in a basic way, but not related as a uh, data engineer. So whenever we have to answer about the strengths and weakness, we should connect with our role. So again, I took help from Arun only, Arun and Lakshmi to answer these questions. So if you
Yeah.
have completed the technical part, yeah, that's good. But there will be one more round, which is the client evaluation. So after that round gets completed only, then we can expect the offer. Yes, that cultural fit questions is like based on a competencies. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
guys, you have to remember the context, guys.
Yes.
The context is that for a person who has been working with one company for a very long time, because there are people who have worked with three or four companies, and they are very current with the interviews because they're always looking for interviews. But Banu had a very stable kind of role in a company for a long time, so he was not he was coming to the market after a long time. You have to remember that. This is why this is very important that he transitioned to a data engineering role, and he made it. This is a big thing.
I guess Madhu has some questions to ask.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Hi, Banu. This is Madhu.
Hi, Madhu. Yes.
So my question is that as you told, like we need to know in Python basics is enough. Do we need to learn OOPS concept in Python also?
Yes, sir, that OOPS concept like Windows, right? Windows and functions. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, so
class like
Windows and
that
functions,
class.
that's mandatory because we have to Windows functions, it gives a reusability and abstraction. Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Because whatever the code we write in one notebook, we should be able to execute in the other notebook, right? Yes, sir. We have to know the Windows and functions. If you know SQL, then yeah, PySpark easy
Mhm.
because in SQL also we write for functions, right? Yes.
So another question is that we have Azure Synapse like that, like related to Azure Data Factory.
Yeah,
So
data warehouse.
so what is the difference between that? Do we need to know Azure Synapse also?
Yes, sir. The data warehouse. Yes, we should be knowing it. Yeah.
No, Azure Synapse, like how do we have the concept like how Azure Data Factory, like which is a service in the Azure. We have
Data.
a concept
Yeah, data factory. It's an ingestion tool. Okay.
similar that
So there also.
similar to that we have a Azure Synapse like that,
Mm.
where we use for the injection of the data.
So,
And
so for Ashok, for Ashok, who's he's a lot of experience in Databricks as an architect. His opinion is that Azure Synapse is like Microsoft itself is sorry, the market is moving away from Azure Synapse slowly and gradually. So yeah, it's
okay.
good to know. I mean, for interviews, sometimes people ask, it's good to know. So as a concept, he will let you know that, but he will focus on those aspects which are much more important for the future interviews.
Okay. So I have another question for Banu. So normally when we learn so many tools, right, we get overwhelmed, like remember syntax, all those things.
Mm.
So how do you cope up with that? How did you cope up with that? Like, how did
Yeah.
you recall the concept at the interview time where the interviewer asked to write the code?
Yeah, so see, there are few questions you can expect actually, like Windows function, rank, dense rank, row number. These are mandate questions. So without that question, interview will not proceed at all. So rank functions, then the
Mhm,
joins.
mhm,
So apart from this, we can expect a few questions like so in my interview only. So they asked one question. For example, you have one column.
mhm.
For example, with the customer's name. So it contains the special characters. So how do you remove it? So I was not able to write the complete logic, but I was able to write a pseudocode. So few
Okay.
employer will accept. So I just mentioned for loop and then mention rejects. Okay,
Okay.
that's fine. At least if you know which syntax, which operator you have to use, that's fine.
So is it
Madhu,
applicable for Python too?
So for Python, they expect like 100% logic. So
Uh-huh.
it depends on the company actually. If they're looking for 100% logic, then we have to write it only. So they were, if in my case, no,
Okay.
they did not expect actually. At least if you know the concept, that's enough. That's what they said. And so whenever you practice, that's what one thing I recommend. So if you're writing one logic in SQL, practice that same logic in PySpark also. It's not that, okay,
that's
these questions I have to practice in SQL only. No, these questions that are expected in PySpark only. Please don't do like that. Practice in both the uh, programming languages. So that's how we can learn. And don't buy it actually. That's what I say. So don't memorize. So we should try and understand the concept. So that's why I learned hours in the laptop, like searching tools and everything. Like like to be honest, I use my chat GPT like anything like extensively. So being active in LinkedIn, so what are the questions we can expect in SQL? But the good thing I did, like I had my counterpart who is Pooja. So one thing we can do, like you can collaborate like-minded people. You can create one WhatsApp group, and if you are appearing for an interview, and after the interview, you can share those questions in the group. So when someone attends the interview, whether she is completed or not completed, even he or she can share the question. So that's how we can learn as a team.
one thing you said is very important, Bhanu, and
Mm.
this is consistent feedback from people that what they do is, let's say they know SQL. In SQL, they know lead lag, ranked and dense rank, and all those kind of concepts that you study in SQL.
Mm.
They try to keep SQL on one side and then PySpark on the other side, and they try to whatever they have learned in SQL, what will be the equivalent thing to write in PySpark.
Yes,
So
correct.
that's how most people are learning, and they are doing excellent. I mean, if you pick up a generic book on PySpark, if you start tutorial in from one of the YouTubes, you're not going to learn anything. But if you learn a basic way, uh, you should be able to just see what's the equivalent that
Correct.
I'm going to
Mm.
use in PySpark. That's very important, very very important. Hey
Yeah.
guys, I have
Yeah,
time for two or three more questions. And Hema has
Uh,
joined us. I think the class finished. Hema, did Ashok class finish already?
Yes, just now.
Can you ask him to join the session for just 5 minutes, please? If you can ping him, because
Yeah, I'll try.
there's a question. Yeah, yeah. Please ping him. Just
in
say
the
you are
meantime,
needed for
I have a
1 minute.
question
Yeah, please go ahead. In the
for Banu.
meantime, let's go ahead with the question. Yeah.
So if I'm learning Azure, market does not expect me to the roles where only I can perform on Azure. If I'm learning one cloud, is it the same for learning all clouds, or should I learn all the clouds, AWS and GCP separately? How is it interconnected?
So whether see Databricks is the main thing. So that's what everyone gets paid. Like we see in the groups, right? 200% hike and 150% hike. So whether you know the ingestion tool like AWS, GCP or ADF, that's fine that you can learn. But Databricks has the excellent feature like where you can do the ingestion, where you can build a pipeline. Okay, and even it has a storage location also. Yes, of course, I agree. So we don't keep our the only thing. Why do we use AWS, ADF, and GCP? So the company doesn't want to store the data in Databricks. So they wanted to store in data factory. So apart from that, Databricks provides all the uh, features.
So
The main
basically,
focus
concepts,
should be, yeah,
concepts.
yeah,
So basically, the concepts are the same whether you pick up Azure or OS.
it's the
Once
same
you
thing.
know the basic concepts, all that you have to know is, yeah, they may be called by different names. The same thing may have a different name in Amazon. Amazon Web Services. But once you know the concepts, it should be pretty easy to switch. Databricks is a very important part.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Anything from Ranjit? Ranjit is very silent, and Parul hasn't asked any question. Before that, thankfully Ashok has joined us. He just probably finished the class. Ashok, there's a question in the group. Banu is having very interesting, and one of the audience members just asked, "What is your feeling about Synapse and whether those kind of questions come in the interviews?" And the answer was yes, some questions are coming here and there, but we are trying to understand your philosophy behind Synapse. So can you shed some light on that?
Okay, so Synapse actually is going to go away. Microsoft itself is going to shut it down because they have introduced Fabric. Okay, so in Fabric you can do everything. So Synapse is basically what it used to be. It was a combination of your database, your traditional database, right? That is called dedicated SQL pool, wherein you have the actual tables like your database tables, and Spark engine, right? Like your Databricks and the data factory. The three combination was there. So, but nowadays, most of the companies are going away with Synapse. They don't want to create a data warehouse, the cloud data warehouse. The reason is, if everything can be done within the lake house, why do you need a cloud data warehouse? That's where Fabric came into the picture. In the Fabric, what they have done, they have copied the Databricks completely. So in Databricks, those who have learned, you have Unity catalog wherein you have the catalogs and then you can create schema and then the table. Same concept in Fabric. What they did, instead of catalog, they started calling it as lake house. So you have lake house there, the same concept, database. Then you have the tables. Whatever you have learned in the Databricks, 95% of the things you can use in the Fabric as it is. There is no change.
Got you. So, guys, Ashok, the creator of Made us himself here. So please go ahead. Anybody who's new to data engineering, please go ahead and ask whatever comes to your mind, including the previous questions on you asked about PySpark or whatever else, Madhu or anybody else. Rupam, you are preparing to get into data engineering. Ask anything because the master himself is there.
Hi, Ashok.
Yeah, tell me, how can I help?
So currently I'm working as a Power BI developer. So most of the people in my colleagues tells like to learn Azure Synapse rather than going with the Azure Data Factory. So
No,
I'm
you don't
confused
have to
like
learn. Okay, I will tell you. When they said Synapse, right? Synapse
Mhm.
has various components. One is data factory component, the other one is Spark, as I said, and the third one is dedicated SQL pool. So the problem is the people doesn't even understand what is a Synapse, and they keep recommending people. So you know data factory if you learn Azure Data Factory, whether you use it directly from the Azure Data Factory or you go via Synapse, it's the same thing. There is no change. Okay. Then you learn the Databricks. You learn the Spark there. Whatever code you write in the Spark, the same code you will write in the Synapse Spark. There is no change. Okay. So the problem is either they want to milk money from you or they don't understand. That's why they recommend like this. But if you go and Google it, right, Synapse is going to go away by itself. They're not using Synapse anymore. I have been involved in many projects where they are moving away from Synapse and moving to the Databricks. So those who is guiding you that don't learn Databricks, Databricks is going to be the base for any kind of data analytics in next 10 years.
Pretty much, yeah. I totally agree with that.
So you see, like, Google it, right? What is the so everywhere there is firing going on in US. Okay, there are a lot of firing going on. Databricks is the only company which has hired 30% more staff in last 1 year, and they are still growing because there are lots and lots of implementations. So my recommendation is, guys, whatever you're trying to learn that, but don't shy away from Databricks, because without Databricks you will not be able to survive.
Guys,
Databricks is
Ashok just finished 2.5 worth of classes and he's still giving us time. So shoot your questions, guys. Don't be shy. You shoot it in Hindi, you
So,
shoot it in English, but please shoot your
Arun
questions.
Ranjit this side. Arun Ranjit this side.
Go ahead.
Arun, in my day-to-day work, I work on the Power BI and analytics. Okay, as an ATL. So how far this Azure engineering course, or Azure Data Factory and all this stuff, because I was pretty new to all the technologies that you are speaking on. So how far that will help me in getting a good job, or going into
okay.
that field.
Let me tell you one thing. Okay, a lot of Power BI people are here.
Mhm.
Whether you do it voluntarily or you do forcefully, you will have to learn data engineering. Let it make that statement, and after 2-3 years, you will realize that what I'm saying is correct. What is going to
Mhm.
happen? Okay, there will not
Yeah.
be any Power BI developer role or analytics role or data engineering role. There will be one role as a full stack developer, full stack data engineers, which will do
Mhm.
data engineering, which will do analytics, which will do Power BI work.
So
If you
meaning that
already know Power BI,
Power BI is just the visual front end part. The
yes,
entire real backbone is data engineering, is Databricks.
yes. So you need to learn that. Whether you do it forcefully or you do it yourself, it is up to you. So market is going to change completely eventually, wherein they will say, why do we need a visualization person if the data engineers can do the same thing? They know the data better,
Yes, yes,
right?
yes.
So it's the time to upgrade yourself, guys. And if you see the comparison in the salaries, right? There is no comparison between the Power BI engineers versus data engineers salary. The most highest paid salary after AI is data engineers. And data engineer is the path to go into the AI world. That is a transition phase. Like, first you learn the data engineering, then only you can become the AI engineer. People are jumping, they say, oh, I will learn the AI first. And they just hear buzzwords around RAG, prompt engineering, they go and join and they don't learn anything there. Data engineering is the base for any kind of visualization, any kind of analytics, any kind of data science, any kind of machine learning. If your data engineering is not done, you cannot run your models, you cannot do your visualization.
Pratish,
So,
Sriniti, Pratish.
So I have
thanks,
one
thank
more
you.
question, Ashok. You know, like
Mhm.
Azure Data Studio would be continued in Feb 2026. So how does that affect the overall picture of Azure?
Data Studio will be shut down.
Yeah,
Data Studio is just a tool, right, to connect to the
yeah,
database. How does it
yeah. Like,
impact us?
so basically, we would have to directly query it on this Azure itself, right?
No, you connect your SQL Server Management Studio. See, uh, Azure Data Studio was just basically a tool to connect to any database. You have different IDs. You can use SQL Developer. You can use SQL Server Management Studio for that.
Okay.
Okay, it doesn't make any difference, Parul. What you need to do is you learn the technology. You learn ADF already, right?
Yeah.
You learn Databricks. Okay, then IDE, right? It's a tool just to facilitate something. If that tool is shutting down, they will bring another tool for it.
Okay. Hey, Ashok,
Ashok,
actually,
Parula's, one sec, one sec. So Parul is coming from the background where she knows some engineers from different places and they give her all sorts of advices. And she's she's working very hard on listening to
I
the
will
recordings and completing data breaks. So she gets confused when they give the when
I will
people from
tell you one thing.
software
Yeah.
engineering background give this feedback.
I will tell you one thing, okay? Don't
Mm.
listen to many people. Just trust one
Okay.
person, who whether it's me or someone. Just trust and follow it. If you listen to too many people, when COVID hit, there was a COVID, right? I never
Mm.
used to listen to the news because in the news it
Okay.
was showing that you will die the next day. Yeah, yeah, it was all like that. You step out and you die.
My
So
God.
that's not the life. You need to trust one person, just follow along, and believe me, whosoever has done it, they have succeeded in their career.
Got it.
If you go to 10 different places, they will tell you 10 different perspective. Everyone has their own perspective. They don't they don't try to tell you things which are needed. They will try to tell you things which they know.
Mm.
For people, Databricks is just transformations, but Databricks is much more than transformation.
Correct.
Transformation in our sessions are like 1 or 2 sessions, 3 sessions transformation,
Mm.
right? I could wrap up
Yeah.
in 4 5 sessions, but you have learned Databricks from me, right? You see the depth of that. That's the actual Databricks. And people are
Got it.
struggling. In many of my clients, there are 600 interviews done, but they are not able to identify 10 people.
Okay.
So there's
Got it.
shortage of resources. I'm telling you, learn Databricks, practice it, don't leave it. And you will
I
see
think
that you will come and say that, sir, you were right. That is
I
the
Um,
think
future.
Banu has raised his hand. He was telling me about how good examples you gave during the class. Banu, you've raised your hand. Please go ahead. Ask your
Yeah, no,
question.
the first and foremost thing I want to thank Ashok. Thank you so much for your guidance and support throughout my data engineering journey, Ashok. You are,
Congratulations, Banu. I couldn't
yeah,
speak to you earlier, but
yeah,
Lakshmi told me about your success. I'm really happy for
yeah,
you.
yeah, because
The
your
hard work always pays off. Yeah, hard work always pays off. That's what I
like,
say.
yeah, your way of teaching made a complex concept simple, and that he helped me gain confidence and clear my certification and job. So I totally appreciate your mentorship. Yeah.
Thank you, Banu. Thank
Yeah.
you so
So,
much. Yeah.
and that's the, and you said in the beginning also, like uh, we have to uh, practice on that same day itself. Like we have to go back to the recordings, and if you're able to uh, follow on the track, so we'll be able to understand and complete the course within the duration. Yes, that's something we have uh, followed actually. Yeah. So we
Yeah,
that's
the
good
key to
Ashok,
habit.
success
Yeah.
is, guys, see, I will tell you, many students actually don't take it otherwise. They sit on the course for 6, 8, 9 months. After that, they don't know where they are right now. They think that they're lost because whatever they learned in the session, it's all wiped out from their memory. If you are coming into the sessions, guys, commit yourself that 3 months I'm going to practice like I'm going to give my engineering exam. If you do that, fourth month you will have a job in your hand. I can guarantee that. And what
Ashok,
whosoever has listened to my these words were successful.
that's so true, Ashok. Ashok, I want to quickly go back to one question that Rupam had asked. He wanted to know the roadmap. Like let's say somebody's a great Power BI specialist with SQL knowledge and a little bit of Python, and they want to get into data engineering. What would be the roadmap as defined by you? We discussed that, but we want to hear your opinion.
So SQL basically is the base, whether it is a visualization, whether it is analytics, whether it is data engineering. If you already know SQL, right? Learn data engineering, start with one ingestion tool. If you are trying to become a data engineer in Azure side, Data Factory is the best ingestion tool in the market. No other tool in the market, whether it is AWS Glue or anything in GCP, is equivalent to ADF. Okay, so ADF is very much important to learn the ingestion, and then one processing engine you need to learn, that is Databricks, because Databricks is an open source where it can be used in any kind of cloud. So I have students who learned Azure data engineering from me, and they are working as AWS data engineering in some of the other clients. So because they know Databricks. So that is the reason I'm saying Databricks is going to be future, because it's an open source. It can be plugged in with any cloud. You are not dependent on cloud. Like if you learn Fabric, you master Fabric, right? You're technically learning the same thing, but you cannot claim that I can be open for any cloud because it's tied up to Azure. If you learn Databricks, it is cloud independent. You can use it in any of the cloud. And they have brought in so many features, additional features. It is going to make things very, very simple.
And Shruti, this is especially for you and Rupam, because you guys and Sriniti, that should be your next step. Learn ADF and data engineering.
And one more thing,
Yes, sir.
actually, see, it's for everyone. Don't go with people who are trying to teach you everything in 2-3 months. The thing is, what will happen? Suppose I put AI also in it, I put Fabric also in it. It is just like going and touching the temple, just going, reaching and touching the steps there and coming back. Unless and until you have in-depth knowledge, this market is not going to give you a job. Any service you are learning, whether Fabric you are learning, whether you are learning Databricks, it has to be much in detail with 100% hands-on. Don't try to learn everything. Okay, in the same course, I will learn everything, because your experience you will be claiming 3 to 4 years. No one can think of that you have worked in everything in last 3-4 years. That's where the people make mistake. When I see the resume having, oh, I have done AI, I have done machine learning, I have done data engineering, I have done Power BI, that is the first thing, a red flag for me, that it's a fake resource. That's the first thing I go and check, that it's a fake resource, and I ask questions and they are not able to answer.
Yeah,
You cannot do everything.
the people write ML, AI, RAG, SHAG, MAG, everything, prompt
No,
engineering.
that is the worst thing they do to their career. See, I work in the data engineering. I work for Databricks now. Okay, I never say that I have been an expert of AI, because I do AI stuff, but it's very limited. I can teach AI, but I don't try to fool people unless and until I feel comfortable that I can do anything in AI. I will not start a session on that. That's
There's a
how I
question
am.
from Rupam. He says, "Can we compare Databricks with Snowflake for a little bit?"
Okay, Snowflake is basically a cloud-based data warehouse. Okay, Snowflake cannot be compared with Databricks in the sense Databricks is, first of all, it's a independent, cloud independent. Second thing is, it's not a data warehouse, it's a lake house. Okay, lot of features which Databricks provides are available in Snowflake also, but acceptability of Databricks in the market is more than what you have in the Snowflake. So very simple example to validate that, you go and look into the Snowflake courses, the price of it, okay, and compare with any Databricks courses in the market, right? Not mine, anywhere, and you see the price difference. That will tell you what is the difference between Snowflake and Databricks.
And that's true. I mean, we can give you a lot of technical differences,
Yeah, technical differences,
but
I
but
don't want to get that. It's there in the chat.
yeah.
I'm telling you, lot of companies, they, when Snowflake came into the picture, they thought that they will resolve a lot of problems, and they started using Snowflake. Then they started moving away. Like one recent example I will tell you, Dropbox. I don't know if you've heard about a company called Dropbox. That is moving away from Snowflake and moving into Databricks. I am doing that implementation. I know that. It's a very big company, actually. If you Google it, you will come to know.
I personally
Guys,
use
Similarly,
it.
yeah. Similarly, Instacart is there. They are moving away. So I have one client who is moving away from Synapse and going into the Databricks. They were using Synapse data dedicated pool. Now they are using Databricks for it.
I mean, Databricks has had 60% year-on-year growth, which is growing
Yes.
faster than any other company. There's a reason for that.
Yeah, it provides a unified platform for doing everything within it. Now they are bringing a lot of ingestion tools also within Databricks. Soon you don't even need ADF. You will be using just Databricks to do everything in it.
Wow.
So that's what Databricks is doing. That is killing the complete market. All the competition, no one is able to compete because they are bringing so many good features. they bought Postgres actually. That database also they brought it into the Databricks now. So any transactional data. So people could not even think now the delta tables you can read from the transactional database in within the Databricks. So it's like microsecond data you will get it in microseconds. So
Ashok,
that's what I'm
there's a
saying.
demand. Ashok, there's a
Mhm.
demand from people. Could you please share your LinkedIn profile or tell us something about yourself, or just share the profile? Rupam, who's a great contributor in COE, who has given previous seminars, is all keen on doing. There's a Kaseya gang here today, the cool gang. They all want to learn Databricks, so you have to share with them. Thank you, thank you, thank you,
So
Lakshmi.
Rupa, my LinkedIn I think is everywhere. I think someone Lakshmi has already pasted it. You can go and check. I let me introduce myself. I have over 2 decades of experience. I'm been working with Databricks technology from like 8 years now, 8 or 9 years now. And I was an Oracle developer before, and then became a manager, senior manager, delivery manager. All those roles I have done. Then I transitioned voluntarily into the Databricks because I saw that there is a decline in the Oracle work. I was able to get the job. It was good. Everything is good, but I saw that the trend is going to go down. So I moved myself into the Databricks, and I work as a principal solution architect for many different clients. I have different clients, and I provide architectural services. And I have a company in United States wherein we place people at different client locations, wherein a couple of people work for my projects in my office, and there are a lot of people who work at the client location.
So, because he's not an ordinary teacher, just teaching, retired, who's just making money out of teaching, his 100% business is based off of this technology, which is why being a practitioner, he can give you the latest and greatest news that's happening in the market in the real time, in industry grade issues that they are solving and where the implementation is being done and how it is happening, what are the challenges. So if you talk to him or his students, that's what you get, guys. Okay, any last minute questions, guys?
I have something to say to Ashok.
Sure.
Is
Ashok,
that
thank you so
Lakshmi?
much. Yeah, yeah. It's been long time. That day I couldn't connect with you as well. I know you are
That's
very
okay.
busy. Uh, Out of your busy working schedule, you are also helping your students. So one thing I wanted to promise from my end, these days, all the personal challenges we have faced, and Banu being a data
Mhm.
engineer, I was not able to focus on my thing. I think now it's my time to make you proud. I will definitely get in track with your course, and I'll come back with whatever I have promised you.
I'm
Sure, sure.
noting
I
that
have
down,
no
Lakshmi.
doubt
I'm
about it,
noting.
Lakshmi. So I wanted to applaud Banu and Lakshmi because I know their personal challenges actually, and I wish no one have to face that. Okay, but they still worked really hard to make that happen. That's the reason I was saying, Banu, that hard work really pays off.
Yes, yes, Ashok. Yeah.
Yeah. So the
Ashok,
challenges you guys faced, I'm
now,
fully aware, and that's the reason I wanted to applaud that hard work you
Ashok,
put into make that happen. Yeah.
Ashok, kudos to you. My personal kudos to you too, because when I heard Banu an year back, and now when I hear Banu 2.0, the way he described his projects, the way he addressed the audience questions, and me asking a lot of questions, he was so wonderful today.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah.
Ashok,
I
and
see
one thing
the
that
growth. Yeah.
makes you proud that Banu has worked on a project and he's ready to present it to COE. You should be part of the session.
Very good. Very good.
Wow,
When is that? When is that planned?
we have to schedule it, but he says he's all ready to present his
He has implemented
learnings to the
all
COE.
practical things like Unity Catalog, creating
Very good.
clusters, many things which
But
Excellent,
I am
man.
not aware.
Thank you.
But Ashok, he
That
has a condition that you have to be present whichever day he we decide to schedule his session.
Okay. Then let's do it. Okay, I will give you a schedule actually because I want to give a schedule which I can, I can join. Okay. And let's not put
Sure,
like more
sure,
than an
sure.
hour of session. it will be very difficult for me. An hour of the session,
Yes,
I can squeeze in some time. Yeah,
sure,
we'll
sure.
do that. Okay, but great job, Banu. If you have some PDF document created for that, just send me the overall architecture, what you are trying to build, and let me understand that. And in the sessions, I can ask questions if I
Yeah,
don't
sure, Ashok.
understand.
I'll send I'll send it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Yeah, it's a great job.
I'll take one last minute question, guys, and we have to wrap up. We have been going for a long time now. Anyone? Shruti, you were very vocal before. Sriniti, Pratish, Parul.
Actually, I have a lot of disturbance at my end today. There's Ganpati Agman going on, right? There's a lot of chaos here. That's why I'm keeping a little low right now.
Yeah.
Fair,
So
fair.
one more thing, actually, Hema is in my current batch. Actually, I would like to hear Hema. How is she feeling in the sessions? Just tell, like, do you think that whatever was promised, you are getting that, or you're not getting whatever was promised?
No,
A fair
100% I
opinion.
feel like no, it's a fair opinion. It's not that just because you are here. I've been talking to people who are reaching out to me about this, but it I there is a lot of improvement before joining the classes. I've been trying to learn by myself before, but I couldn't grasp all these concepts and this easily. I was not confident, let's say, about the topic that we are discussing for this week, structured streaming. I was not confident before. I couldn't understand why was the checkpoint given it a write stream instead of a read stream. There are a lot many things that those were going on, but everything was clear after the class. And now ADF is completed. I am very confident that anyone can ask me any question with regards to ADF implementation. I'll be able to answer it. I'm that
Excellent.
confident now. I'm sure I'll be this confident after finishing the Databricks as well.
Yes,
But guys,
and that
guys, one
confidence will help you in securing multiple offers, not one offer, multiple offers. That I can
but
guarantee.
there is one important difference between ordinary and extraordinary people like Banu and Hema, who's in the current batch, and the difference is very simple. It is nothing extra. There's nothing extraordinary about qualifications or years of experience. It's just the practice. If you listen to Ashok, you come back. Maybe you're tired that day, so you don't begin practice right away. But if within the week, if you practice and do the assignments, you should be set for success. It's a simple strategy, very simple strategy.
I will
All
tell you
right,
a story, okay, guys. I think one last thing, 2 minutes, okay. I
sure.
have a student, okay, and he was trying to get a job. I will not name him, and I will not give a hint also. He was trying all his measures to get a job. Okay, he studied from me. I said that if you don't practice, you won't get it. He tried everything, all possible ways, like which I don't like actually, but he still tried, like getting the proxy interviews done and everything. He couldn't succeed. And then one fine day, he said that no, it's enough is enough. Let me practice. And he gave 2 months of dedicated practice. After that, he messaged me saying that Ashok, you were right. I got the job. Thank you so much. I have got a very good hike and everything is done. I'm joining on Monday. That's the
So,
thing
so
which I'm telling guys. If you practice it, no one can take that knowledge. You won't need Ashok also. You will
yeah,
be able
do
to do
not
yourself.
guys, do not join just because you're listening in the market. There's X% hike, this percent hike. Join because you're interested and
Yes.
follow his strategy. And hikes are just a byproduct. It's going to happen sooner or later.
First thing
All
is
right,
we are
guys.
not marketing people, okay? We are actual people who does real things. We are not marketing gurus. So that's the reason we don't put lot of effort in marketing.
Having
So
said that, I think, yeah, Shruti, I got you. Um, So, guys, thanks a lot for being here today. And Bano, special thanks to you. In spite of your all the challenges, you've done very well for yourself. And I think Lakshmi is next, and many other people who are in this call will be on the success list pretty soon.
I
So,
wish to see Parul also there soon. She's been putting
I will
absolutely.
be.
efforts. I see. And Parul, believe me, you will be there. Just put that rigor. Keep continuing what you're doing. Okay, you will be there.
I will.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Parul
Sure.
has joined us in spite of having 102-degree fever today. In spite of that, she has
Oh,
joined
shit.
us. She stayed there for the full time. So thank you, Parul, and everybody else. And so we are doing these every weekend. We are celebrating data engineering success. We have so many of them that we can't even get to schedule them fast enough. So we are doing one per weekend based upon the schedule, the availability, and many other factors. But you will hear from many more successful stories pretty much every Saturday. Some of these sessions Ashok might be able to join. Some of those he's focused on his classes and his current students. So some of them he may not be there, but we'll try to keep the next one at a time where he can also join, so that in one go everybody's questions can be answered as well. So thanks a lot, guys, and thank you, Ashok, so much. Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you, Arun, for setting
Very
this
tired.
up. Thank you, guys,
Yeah.
for listening to us. And if you have any questions, please reach out to Arun or myself. We'll love to answer your questions. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you.
guys. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Ashok,
Thank
and
you.
thank you,
Thank
Arun.
you. Bye. Thank
Thank
you.
you, everyone. Bye.